Welcome to the 113th episode of the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is the 15th anniversary celebration of Sonic Boom. 15 years, literally. So if you're watching this on the day it was uploaded, it's been 15 years since the release of Kiss's album Sonic Boom. So what a great way to celebrate this album. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. This is going to be a classic Kiss Army Things album review. Thank you so much for joining us. And be sure to stay tuned to the very end because we have a surprise from one of our viewers.
I'm so excited.
Which is really exciting. But anyway, so yeah, obviously this is the beginning of album anniversary fall.
Yes.
We had a really good time in the summer talking about all the Kiss covers and various things like that. But in the fall, we're going to have a lineup back-to-back of album reviews.
There's so many anniversaries.
Seriously, September, October, both of those months are just littered with Kiss album releases. Of course, we're going to start off the month with Sonic Boom, and then next week is going to be Hot in the Shade. Then it's going to be Hotter Than Hell for the 50th anniversary. Mm-hmm. And then is there another one, I think, after that? Maybe? I thought there was 3 or 4. I don't know.
The Elder was coming up.
The Elder is coming up in November, so it's going to continue on.
I am so excited for that one.
Yeah, you guys are in the right place. You're in the right place, especially considering since I don't think this album would get the love it deserves unless it's right here on the Kiss Army Things podcast.
Absolutely.
So again, thank you everybody joining us. I want to shout out real quickly the Kiss Army Things patrons. You guys are awesome. I'm looking at you, Greg, Darren, Rex, Matt, Bjorn. Thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. So like I said, this is going to be a full album review of Sonic Boom. We're not going to get into Kiss Classics and the DVD.
It'd be too much. This would be like 3 hours long.
This could just be 3 hours.
I was going to say, Sonic Boom. Could be already.
But we're gonna try and keep it nice and concise for everybody. But yeah, so we're just going to keep it to the album itself, considering that this was Kiss's first album in 11 years since Psycho Circus. Which, when I think about it, Monster at this point has been 12 years. So it's been just a little bit longer since Monster was released than the time it took for them to release Sonic Boom.
That's crazy to think about because Monster still feels pretty current, but it's also not at all.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, it definitely doesn't feel current anymore because I was a senior in high school.
Right.
And here I am pushing 30, and so it feels really weird. But, whoa.
What?
Sonic Boom, this is the 50th anniversary?
Yeah.
I was 15 when the album came out. Sonic Boom is the same age
as you were when it came out.
That I was when the album came out.
The same amount of time has passed.
That's a little freaky. That's
crazy.
But anyway, so before we just jump right into reviewing the album, I did want to kind of like set the tone a little bit for everybody as far as like what was happening around this time in history. Maybe, it has been a long time, so maybe you've forgotten. Maybe you were checked out at that time and weren't really keeping up with everything. Maybe you're like me and you're just feeling super nostalgic and you want to kind of relive those days. I don't think you were even a fan at this point yet. So this was a few years before you became a fan. So
this was one of the first albums I got into, though.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I'm pretty sure that even though she doesn't remember when this album came out, when she did become a fan just a few years later, this was like, oh, what's Kiss doing now? What's the current?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that kind of how it went?
One of the first ones that I like digested as a full album and not just random songs here and there, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because as I was getting into them, I remember for some reason that summer I found a whole bunch of Kiss CDs and cassettes at like yard sales and like flea markets and things like that.
Yep.
And that was one I found at a yard sale in like perfect condition. So yeah, this is a really nostalgic album for me too,
really cool.
Actually.
That's pretty cool. But I think maybe 2008. This came out in 2009, so maybe 2008 was like a really pivotal time for Kiss, in my opinion, in my view, because at the time it was like, okay, obviously, Kiss, aka Gene and Paul, they weren't done with Kiss with the farewell tour. They thought they were, but it turns out that they just weren't getting along with Peter and Ace, respectfully. We all know the history. I don't care. But it was clear that when Eric and Tommy entered the picture that they were like, nah, we want to keep going. You know what I mean? And they did the Rock the Nation tour. That was great. Very successful. Okay. But that was really it. I mean, I saw the VH1 Rock Honors performance. But that was really it. It was mostly like hit and run stuff they were doing. There was a hit and run Japan tour. There was a few performances, but really, I mean, Gene did his solo album, and then Paul did his solo album. Gene was doing Family Jewels. So it was kind of like, okay, well, is there a Kiss? What's Kiss doing? What's the end goal here?
Right.
Because it seems that Kiss was just kind of like treading water up until this point. You know, of course, they said they weren't interested in doing any more albums. So as a young fan, I kind of just got used to that. But it was still like, what is going on? All of a sudden, '08 rolls around, and they announce Kiss Alive 35. And Alive 35 was, again, I think the pivotal moment where it was like, okay, well, not only is Kiss here, but Kiss is here to stay.
Yeah.
For good.
Yeah.
That was a huge tour, one of the biggest tours that they had done in a long time. I think it was the first European tour they had since Psycho Circus, like 10 years prior. So it's just, again, interesting how all this time had passed and, you know, little things were happening here and there, but there wasn't anything like definitive happening. So with Alive 35, you had, again, Kiss going all around the world, hitting every major city. They were, you know, again, in Europe, of course, North America, we have the DVD from South America. Plenty of successful shows in Australia that would be filmed for the Kissteria documentary. So it was like, finally, we're getting activity from Kiss. They were wearing the Destroyer outfits again while also playing all of Alive because they were celebrating 35 years since the release of Alive. And it just felt like that tour felt like the opposite of the farewell tour, where the farewell tour was Kiss saying goodbye and, you know, we're dying, we're going away. The Alive 35 tour was like, hello, it's Kiss, we're here, we're alive. So when they announced a new album, I almost thought it was like fake. Like it was just
there's no way.
Internet hoax. It was, you know, a rumor or whatever, but there was no way. Because they had said for so long, we're okay with not doing new music. And so the fact that they felt like they were ready to record again was exciting for me. Because I understand now, at the time not really, but now I understand that recording a Kiss album, historically speaking, has never been fun.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't fun for a long time. We all know the mess that Psycho Circus was. You know, Carnival of Souls, well, that was a huge mess.
Oh, yeah.
Revenge was great, but it wasn't the smash record they were looking for.
Right.
Of course, we can keep going back to the 80s and get to The Elder and Unmasked and all that stuff, but it's just like, it always seemed like Kiss did better just on the road.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Stage. Yeah.
As opposed to making it out. But the fact that they felt comfortable and felt ready to make new music was astounding. And the way they pulled it off, again, I know for some fans who, you know, it is a problem for them that Eric and Tommy stepped in the roles that they did. And so that may influence how they hear the music. You know, I totally get that. But hearing an album like this, I don't think this album stands as their best. I don't think it sits at their worst. I think it just is a rock solid Kiss album.
Agreed.
That proves that Kiss can write, record, and perform music in-house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were no outside songwriters. There were no outside musicians. It was literally the four of them.
None at all?
No.
Wow.
No.
That's awesome.
Monster and Sonic Boom were both all in-house.
That's
which
awesome.
you don't have any Kiss albums like that.
I was going to say, no offense, but especially the 80s ones. That are
it's all...
There's a million people, and super talented people that improved those albums, but at the same time, it is really cool to see a record that is just the band.
Just the band.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, I mean, you don't have albums like Sonic Boom and Monster except for the first handful.
Right.
I mean, Destroyer has outside people on it.
It really was back to basics.
Dynasty and Unmasked definitely did. But again, like the first album, Hotter Than Hell, you know, Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun, those albums were just the four guys.
Yeah.
Writing songs, recording, not overthinking it, boom, boom, boom. And so finally we get a Sonic Boom of an album. And so...
What an album title, too.
A very interesting album title. I can think back to when Dad told us for the first time. Like, we were driving, we got home from school, or got off the school bus. Dad picked us up, he just got off work, and he had a friend at work who was a Kiss fan, and I think he had internet access. We didn't have internet, we didn't have computers, we didn't have cell phones.
Right.
We were literally just in the boonies, you know, like literally living in the woods.
Yeah, it's not like you see it on Facebook as soon as it's announced.
No, we knew nothing. But this guy at work was our plug, right? He had all the info.
Yeah.
And so he goes, hey guys, I figured out the name of the new Kiss album. We're like, no way. He goes, yeah, it's called Sonic Boom. I remember thinking, Sonic Boom.
That's so heavy.
That is a cool... yeah, it's actually a little heavier than the actual album itself.
It is, yeah, but it's a great title.
But it's saying, hey, we're Kiss, we're coming back.
Yeah.
No holds barred, we're not, you know, no frills,
yeah.
no BS. The album, let's just go ahead and get into the album now. Let's just go ahead and get into it because the album itself starts off with a Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
The first note is just... Modern Day Delilah, right?
So good.
It immediately hits you in the face. It punches you. It's none of that, you know, Psycho Circus started out with the, carnival, which was cool. I like it. That's fine. The carnival music.
Right.
It takes about 48 seconds to build up.
Yeah, a lot of times
louder.
there is some kind of intro stuff.
Yeah. The album before that, Carnival of Souls, had the radio static,
Yep.
Revenge had the guitar distortion that increased. So it was like, this was like, again, a no-frills album.
Yeah.
You're not getting any of that pretentious production, which, again, I love all that stuff. It's cool. It's fine. But they weren't doing that on the first album. They weren't doing that on Hotter Than Hell. You know what I mean? Rock and Roll Over? No. I Stole Your Love.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Right into it. Marnie Delilah. Just right into it. But I've been talking a lot already so far. So I want to know, just real quickly, what do you think about Modern Day Delilah?
I love this song.
Review this song, babe.
I love this song. This is honestly a perfect Kiss song, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's one of the best Kiss songs from any
favorite.
album.
Yep.
It really is, and it's one of the best album openers too. That's something I would like to rank one day as album openers and closers, things like that.
Totally.
Because it says a lot about an album, like what you choose to put as the first song. And I cannot think of a better first song, and I can't think of a better lead single. Mm-mm. This was the lead single, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
It's fantastic. The riff is just iconic. Like, that's so good.
It's
and it
yeah, it's groovy.
Paul sounds great, and the solo is so iconic. It's one of those guitar solos that you literally can't help but sing along to.
Absolutely.
And it's so good that it gets stuck in your head, not even the singing parts of the song, but just the guitar solo will get stuck in my head. It's
the solo
so
itself is a song.
It is.
You can sing that solo. I think it's Tommy's best solo.
It's fantastic, and it's such a high energy song.
Yeah.
Such a cool Paul song, cool lyrics, interesting story. It's perfect.
It is perfect Kiss song. Yeah, that solo is ripping. We found a video of Tommy doing a guitar tutorial.
Yes, that was so neat. I had never seen that video before.
A really up close, of him just playing the solo with no other instruments, just him.
Yeah, he's in the full Kiss get up and makeup and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's kind of casually leaning on a
road case.
Yeah, road case. Yeah, with his legs crossed. It's so cool, and he's just kind of talking about how they built that song. It was really neat.
Yeah, and he's very upfront. He's like, look, we wanted this album to sound like classic Kiss.
Yeah.
And part of that was the sound that Ace brought to the band.
Yes.
And
that was a really cool acknowledgement.
And yeah, exactly. So, being a huge Kiss fan, being a huge Ace fan, was able to deliver a incredible. So like I said, it's like a song in and of itself, but out of all the solos Tommy has done, which would be, the ones on Psycho Circus, which we're not even sure which ones, because it's kind of still up in the air as far as, I think Ace was on You Wanted the Best and Into the Void, but Tommy may have been everywhere else, but I think Bruce Kulick might have done some bass and on there. It's like, whoa. But anyway, out of all the solos that Tommy has done, while there are some memorable licks, that is the one that stands above the rest.
I agree 100%.
I mean, the Psycho Circus solo could be his as well, but I know Ace playing that mostly live,
right?
So that could be Tommy in the studio, which if that's the case, then that's definitely his number one,
right?
I think that might actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that might actually be Tommy,
on
but Psycho Circus.
At the same time there's something different about it.
But this is his era, because it's actually him officially.
Yes, because he is in the band, he is on the album cover, he's the one performing it live. There is something different about that. Yeah,
the whole song absolutely rips.
Yeah,
and I can
so
think
good
back
live too.
to
oh my gosh.
When I heard this for the first time, I was on the bus and had my MP3 player and was probably listening to Kiss. Kiss or death metal. That was it. There was no in between. No in between. But I was listening to some, and my friend texted me and he was like, hey, bro, new Kiss song on Y106, which was our old radio station. And I said, wait, what? So I was fumbling to get to the FM radio on my MP3 player, and I caught Modern Day Delilah coming out of the first chorus.
Nice.
So all I heard was you lived your glory in a liar's haze, you called the truth.
What are those lyrics? They're so good.
And there's a little echo on truth.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So the same old story of a social climb from wasted youth. Or wasted youth. I'm like, whoa, what is this? And so, yeah, hearing that riff, that incredible drum beat, that huge chorus.
Yeah.
Again, Tommy's solo and the outro with all of Paul's ad-libs. I was like, even then I knew, I was like, I'm hearing one of the best Kiss songs I've ever heard in my life. And I'll never forget, again, hearing that moment. I don't remember hearing about the album being announced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember the feeling, the anticipation of waiting for the album.
Right.
But I don't remember where I was or what I was doing when I was told
was happening.
There is a new kid. Again, Dad could have told me. I'm not sure. I just remember when Dad told me the name of the album, and then hearing this on the bus. Going home. Yeah. I'm just a freshman in high school, sitting on the bus, and a new Kiss song drops.
MP3 players. That's so great.
MP3 players were dope. They seriously were the dopest. But again, we all know that if this is the first album in 11 years, then this is the first single in 11 years. The last song that Kiss released as a single was "You Wanted the Best" in '98. So that's kind of shocking. Again, this is the first single in 11 years. This was released August 19th of 2009. And it proved to be a pretty big hit for Kiss, at least, respectfully, considering that most people thought that this was going to be a flop album and all that. No, it reached number 50 on Billboard Rock Songs chart, 34 on the U.S. mainstream rock, and 11 on U.S. rock airplay chart. So it charted in the top 50 on several of the, mainstream charts, which obviously is awesome. But what was super awesome for me and, my generation was that this song was released as a DLC for Guitar Hero 5.
Nice.
Meaning you could go and buy the song, download it, and then play it on Guitar Hero.
That's great.
Which was really, really awesome. I loved that. I was like, I remember being at Derek's house. Oh, buy the Kiss song. Let's buy the Kiss song. But anyway, so yeah, this was played live for the first time at Cobo Hall, I think in September of 2009. Again, talking about the solo and just how awesome the song is. But apparently, these were Paul's lyrics only. We get some collabs on this album as far as Gene and Paul and Tommy and Paul, but this was a Paul only.
That makes sense to me.
On this song.
That makes sense to me. This is a awesome Paul song through and through.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Through and through. And the thing is that I personally don't hear this as a classic Kiss song, because the cool thing about this album is that they were really just going back to basics. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, Psycho Circus was great, and I love that album. It's a favorite of mine, but I can talk about it openly and say that it was really pretentious in its production.
Right.
And obviously it wasn't as in-house as it was marketed to be, or like it's supposed to be, we'll say. So that kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, but this felt like a correction in the sense that you were finally getting tried and true, again, classic Kiss. But for me, Modern Day Delilah just felt like its own song. Yeah. There are songs that you hear that you go, oh yeah, that's 70s Kiss.
Right.
Then you got like All Night or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's 80s Kiss, definitely. You hear Revenge and Carnival, it's like 90s Kiss all the way. It's like when I hear this song, I'm like, that right there is current Kiss.
Yeah.
That is new Kiss. That is pure Kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that to me was a good thing. I don't get that feeling for any of the other songs quite like that.
Yeah, and a lot of the other ones do feel more like classic Kiss and more like 70s Kiss. But this
feel
one...
like 70s, feel like 80s. You can kind of pinpoint where the eras are coming from, but this one
stands alone.
This one does stand alone, which again, like you said, it makes for a perfect lead single.
It's 2000s Kiss.
It's 2000s Kiss.
Yeah.
This is Millennium 21st Century Kiss.
Yeah,
this
I
is
love
new
that.
Kiss.
21st Century
And I'll never forget, again, that feeling of like being on the bus just almost petrified, being like, this is it. This is the sound. This is what I'm hearing. This is my favorite Kiss. You know what I mean? This is the best Kiss song ever. I love it. It was like hearing Psycho Circus, the song, all over again. Right. How epic that song, how big that song was. Of course, that was more themed. Again, this is less pretentious and just more not thought out, not overthought.
Straight ahead rock and roll.
Straight ahead, straightforward. And this was the perfect opener. That kind of drum beat, that you don't get drum beats like that, especially in classic Kiss. You know what I mean? You get a lot of shuffle beats and a lot of straight four on the floors, which you do on Sonic Boom too, but this was awesome. That's Paul's riff, that main riff, that's Paul's riff. And he was kind of talking about going for a more I Want You style.
Interesting.
I heard him doing it. I think Tommy and Paul did a track-by-track exclusive. You can find half of it on YouTube still. But Paul was talking about how he was going for a more I Want You kind of sound, which now that he says that, I can hear it.
Yeah.
But it still just stands alone as its own thing. Anything else you want to say about Modern Day Delilah? Just what a perfect
Zero
Kiss
notes.
song.
I love it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to get into number 2 now. Track number 2, which is Russian Roulette. This was a title that I can think back to. This was one that was floating around.
Yeah? Okay.
I heard the title of this song before the album ever came out. And I was like, oh, Russian Roulette. That sounds heavy.
Really cool. And
that
heavy,
sounds
it?
cool. Yeah, I was like, that I'm excited for. I honestly was a little bit let down when I heard this song on the album.
Yeah.
Obviously, years have gone by, and I, kind of...
Yeah, you know what it is now, so it's a little different.
Exactly, yeah. But when you hear Russian Roulette, you're thinking you're about to get a slamming, either War Machine type song or whatever, but... it was a little bit deceiving because it opens up very powerful with the drums.
Yes.
Bam, bam. And then from there, it's kind of like slow.
Yeah.
Which is fine because, again, once you kind of like lower
No, it's a cool groove. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Once you kind of like get back to reality
and
listen to it, it's a very nice...
Yeah.
I don't want to say sexy because that sounds weird, but like it is like one of those like sexy kind of like very like walking bass lines.
Yes, the bass line is my favorite part of the song. It is addicting.
Yeah, I think
regardless of the lyrics.
The lyrics
I'm
hearing. We'll get to that for sure. But I was looking for more. Again, that intro was so powerful with the drums. I was like, yeah, there you go. Use Eric Singer, make him work, make him sweat.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they really didn't make him work or sweat too much on this album. It was very tame. Monster's a little bit more upbeat, has a little bit more faster fills in it. But again, once you kind of put all that away and look at it for what it is and what they're going for, again, Paul during that interview I was talking about was how he was trying to get Gene back on track. You know what I mean?
Right.
Looking for that classic 70s Gene, which they kind of found it in this song, ironically, though, using 80s lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always said that Gene had taken some 80s demos or whatever, 80s lyrics, and rewrote them, because it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
But now I actually have full, clear confirmation on that. Which is kind of cool. So now we can get a little bit of history behind this. Because this was a demo same name, Russian Roulette, that Gene had around 85, Asylum, Animalize, right around there, called Russian Roulette. But only the name remains the same, pretty much. A lot of the music was changed, a lot of it was changed, but it was even using some other lyrics from other Gene demos. It
oh
was
my gosh, there's
Frankensteining.
layers.
Yeah. So the lyrics in the song... your bones are strong, your knees are weak. Yeah, so that lyric originally was my bones, or what's the line in the actual song?
Your bones are strong, but your knees are
weak.
Yes.
You try to talk, but you just can't speak. Your bones are strong,
yeah.
Your knees are weak. Was originally, I try to talk, but I can't speak. Okay. My bones are strong, but my knees are weak.
Okay.
And that was originally from a demo called Rotten to the Core.
Okay,
from Hot in the Shade, around 89. So, which is not to be confused with another demo that Gene had in the 70s called Rotten to the Core. We'll come back to that. Gene, right?
I knew it was bad, but it's worse than I thought.
Yeah. So Gene had really just, went back and unearthed and took some of his, I guess, favorite lyrics. But we should have realized, this is obviously an 80s song because we always talk about how Gene takes the most cliches of cliches and just throws them into a song, and here he is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, this is
on
Russian
here.
Roulette.
This
One pull of the trigger is all you're gonna get. The deck is loaded.
The deck is loaded when I see. Oh no, it's Paul's chorus. I learned that.
Really?
Yes, I learned this. So Gene was the one that came in with the song. And Paul's kind of, as it were, like rubbing his temples, like, oh gosh, okay, we're gonna have to do some of this. Yeah. So Paul gets a co-write because Paul wrote the chorus.
Interesting. It seems like a Gene chorus to me. I think
maybe they wrote it together.
And he's trying to fit the vibe of the rest of the song. Yeah. It works. Like, I do like the song.
Yeah.
I actually like this song better than some of the Gene songs on this album. It's by no means my favorite, but like I said, that bass line is so good. And what I really like. So a lot of songs on this album have just fantastic vocal layering and harmonies. That's one of my favorite parts I've realized on this go around.
Yes.
Of this album is the harmonies, and this song is kind of where that starts. Like on the chorus. True. Like I know the chorus is a little slower, but I just love hearing all the layered vocals in the background. Like Eric and Paul and maybe Tommy. Like Eric's voice is all over this album in the background, and I love it. He's a fantastic singer, and he's got surprising range. He's usually doing a higher harmony, and it's so good. That's my favorite part about the song. But yeah, it's still a Gene song.
Yeah, you can really see the four of them coming in, because even when Eric was on Revenge, like can you tell me, like, oh, Eric Singer's vocals on this song were really great? It's like, no, he didn't sing any songs. He wasn't really doing backing vocals. I mean, you can maybe hear him a little bit on Carnival of Souls, but again, you're really hearing the four of them all on this album.
All of them.
Which is really cool. But yeah, Tommy was the one that said that was Paul's chorus. So you got Paul writing a chorus, you got Gene's song, Eric, and all of them on harmonies. So this one also has a really cool solo by Tommy.
Yes, it does.
One of those ones that you can kind of sing. There's a few notes in there that are just really delicious. But anyway... again, not my favorite song off the album. I think it's a little bit, especially when, you're coming off of Modern Delilah, so super hard to do that. But yeah, I like the song, definitely. I think what I appreciate it more about it now is, again, I was always looking for a heavier, faster song, but what I appreciate about this song is that you're getting a lot of that classic early Kiss structure, where you listen to songs like All the Way in Mainline or something from Harder Than Hell, or a lot of songs on Dress to Kill, which were almost largely unfinished. They're mostly just chords, chords and very simplistic beats, you know what I mean? And that simple, classic rock and roll. And whereas Modern Delilah was definitely a little flashy and a little bit, bigger than that, Russian Roulette was straight out of, it feels, musically right off of Hotter Than Hell or Dress to Kill, but lyrically it's coming from the 80s.
Right.
So you're getting 70s Kiss and 80s Kiss.
And current, yeah. That's cool.
With 3/4 of Revenge.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool how embedded in Kiss this album really is.
Yeah,
and you're getting a lot of stuff. So even though that song definitely was not an original song, it was coming from an 80s demo, it was at least... brought more up to speed. It does have a lot of those Gene cliches in it, but it's still a fun song.
Yeah, I still love it.
But now we have Never Enough. Track number 3, which I absolutely love.
Me too.
I absolutely love this song. Now, this is a song that was released as the 3rd single off the album.
Okay, I don't think I knew that this was a single.
This one was a bizarre single release.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the choice of song wasn't incorrect.
It makes sense.
It's a great song. It makes for a good chorus. Never enough. Always get more, always want more, always strive for more. That's a Kiss mentality. But it was released in June of 2010.
When did this album come out?
October of 2009.
Wow.
So literally 7 months, 8 months after the album was released.
That's pretty late.
They released their 3rd single. It just seems so random.
Yeah.
Say Yeah, We'll Get to That was released in December.
That makes
a few months.
Because I understand why artists wait like a month or two in between, but like that seems really, really far.
This is egregious.
So it's December to June with nothing in between?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if they were kind of spaced out throughout that time, but that's bizarre.
Yeah, so...
It's almost like they weren't going to do a 3rd one and they decided to for some reason.
I don't know whose call that was, if that was, Roadrunner or whatever record, company they were with, or if it was Paul's. I don't know whose decision it was. It just seems so out of left field. Because even though it is a great song, it's a good song, it just flopped as far as a single goes, and they never
even... weird timing.
It was never played live.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
It's like, put it out, but don't promote it at all, don't play it at all, don't like...
Yeah.
And do it 8 months later, like...
Yeah, so very, very weird as far as a single goes, but the song itself I absolutely love.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's one of those, like, classic, like, super motivational Paul Stanley type songs.
Absolutely.
It gives me, message-wise, it gives me, like, Live to Win vibes.
Exactly.
Like, it perfectly describes Paul's, like, I feel like Paul's mentality about life is just like living life to the absolute fullest, you know 100%. What I mean? And that's what Live to Win is about, and that's what I get from this song. It feels like a very genuine, like from the heart Paul Stanley
song. Reminds me of, going back to the previous Kiss album, I Pledge Allegiance to Rock and Roll and Raise Your Glasses, those other, victory lap, triumphant songs, then you have Live to Win, which, oh my gosh, I think Live to Win would have been a perfect Kiss song.
Yeah.
Okay, if Paul had not done Live to Win in 06 and 06 and had just waited and just had that song and was like, I'm going to keep that song for if we do it. Or if he wrote that song and said, this needs to be a Kiss song.
Yeah.
That
Imagine that produced like a Kiss song.
Imagine Eric Singer on drums, Tommy on guitar, and Gene on bass, all of them on vocals. Live to Win would have been the biggest Kiss song in a long time.
Gosh, that would have been so
good. And that would have put Kiss
right.
back on the map. I think if you had taken Never Enough and replaced it with Live to Win, having never had the album Live to Win, which great album, great songs.
Right.
Glad we have it.
Yeah, it's great as it is.
But just looking at an alternate timeline here and saying, well, what if Paul just put that in his back pocket?
Yeah.
And then a couple years later when it's like, no, we're going back into the studio. Hey, guys, check this out. I think that would have gotten the band fired up. That would have gotten Kiss fans fired up. And I think that would have made a dent in the world somehow. Because, even though it wouldn't have been on South Park like it actually was.
Yeah.
That was a hit. That was a hit for Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, lots of people who don't necessarily care about Paul or Kiss know that song because of how it was used and how it was marketed. It's all about timing. It's all about how you do that stuff. So obviously they did it. They had good timing there. But man, how cool would it have been to hear "Live to Win" on the new Kiss album?
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Lyrically, it is absolutely a tried and true Kiss song. Ready, set, go. Light the fire below. No time left to rest my head. Time for action. Gonna start the show. I'll do my sleeping when I'm dead.
Oh,
that is
so hard.
That's the most Kiss thing ever.
That's amazing.
Catch your breath.
Yeah.
Because I won't slow down.
Yeah.
I don't need to catch my breath.
No,
I got my breath.
Good.
Paul bikes a marathon every day. You know what I mean? Like, he's good. Catch your breath because you're the one that needs to catch up.
I never really thought about that.
That's also pretty hard.
That's great.
Yeah. Catch your breath because I won't slow down. I'm going to kick it up instead.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it up even further.
And that's what Kiss was doing. Again, they started touring relentlessly again. Line 35 went into Sonic Boom, which went into Hottest Show on Earth, which went into the Lost Cities Tour, which went into The Tour, which went into the Monster Tour, 40th Anniversary Tour, and then that was canceled because of the 2015 terrorist attacks. But then you got Freedom to Rock Tour, Kiss World, End of the Road Tour. It was like they just kicked it up.
So many tours in such a short amount of time.
They never stopped. Kiss went hard. Once they came back, they came back again. Yeah. Kiss was everywhere again with this album. I'm wearing the Walmart shirt right now. We'll get to that. But, I could keep going, but people waste time on their hopes and dreams. Fate is always in my hands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, it's not enough just to sit at home and dream about what you want to do. You have to get out there and take it, pretty much.
Here you go. Let others sit and make their plans. I won't stop until I make it to the top. Don't need anyone to understand. So, there's a lyric in, I think it's Raise Your Glasses, where he says, while all the others only talked, I did it.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. Let others sit and make their plan.
Yeah.
Let them talk. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
They rely on, hopes and dreams. Well, I've got fate in my hands.
Yeah.
It's like, whew,
I'm in control.
That's good stuff.
I'm in control of my narrative, pretty much.
Yeah, I love these lyrics. Give me life for the taking. Give me love till I'm shaking. Give me rules just for breaking. Because it's never enough. And the outro, I love it because it's never enough. Never enough. No, it's never enough. That's so good. Give it to me. Because again, it's never enough. So he keeps going. He keeps going.
It's so good.
That outro, that whole song is good. Because again, even though it is one of those more simplistic songs, it has an upbeat driving feel. Go for it. Yeah, so I'm not sure why I didn't show this in the beginning, but we have my Sonic Boom vinyl here. Courtesy of Glenn Walker from Tales of a Kiss Geek, who was kind enough to, we made a really good deal on this, so this came all the way from Ireland.
I love it. Thanks, Glenn.
But here's a great Kiss album. So,
I also really like the part at the end before the last chorus where we get, it's obviously mostly Paul throughout the song, but where we get the other guys like singing back and forth to him.
Yeah.
Like they say, you can see what you want to believe, and then he does, I'm gonna live the life I live. And they say, gonna try till the day I die, and he says, I'm giving all I got to give.
See,
so that little back and forth at the end is so cool.
You mentioned the harmonies already, and those harmonies are good, but there's also something that just about the back and forth vocals.
Back and forth is amazing.
Track 1, Martin and Delilah, same old way.
Yeah.
It's, and then they come in together.
Yeah, we'll see that a lot on this album too.
1, and then 2, and then 1 and 2 together, and it's like, that's just good stuff. That's how you know the band is together writing, and it's just
and in the studio at the same time.
This is one of the most fun Kiss albums.
Yeah, agreed.
This is not. I was looking for a heavy Kiss album when this came out. That's why I like Monster better.
Right.
But that's not what this is. This is a fun. Monster is very doom and gloom at times, and it's very upbeat, very heavy. This was you can tell in the way they're tuned, because the Kiss at a certain point they down-tuned and it became real heavy. This was, not that. This is that classic.
Yeah, it's bright and it's fun.
That classic bright hard rock, just good old American rock and roll this album. And Never Enough was, I think, like the pinnacle of that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites on the album.
And even though, again, it kind of was a weird single, it did at least manage to charted number 30 on the Billboard Heritage Rock track.
Okay.
So, a modest, whatever. But the thing about this song from fans is that a lot of fans talk about how this song sounds like Ain't Nothing But a Good Time from Poison.
Okay.
Apparently, the way the lyrics are sung is the same as the verses in Ain't Nothing But a Good Time. And so everybody thinks that it was Paul who ripped off Poison. There's a plot twist to all this. So it turns out that it's actually Tommy's riff and Tommy's bit of music. This was Tommy's idea.
Okay.
So you have a Tommy and Paul co-write here.
Wow, that's cool to know.
Which is cool. But, of course, Paul is listed as the primary songwriter, even though it was Tommy's words. It was his riff and his bit of music that he brought in, and then let Paul tweak it a little bit.
And add stuff to it.
And then when Tommy went to Paul's house, in about 30 minutes, they knocked it out and finished it. So, again, it was a very, easy peasy, not overthought song, but good, Tommy and Paul collaboration. But Tommy's riff.
Yeah, well,
and Tommy's music.
Sometimes it literally is just a coincidence when two pieces of music sound similar. You know what I mean? Like,
it reminds me.
People read way too much into it and care way too much about it. It's like sometimes there's a case for it, but I don't see it here.
And Kiss has been very vocal in the past, where they're like, I Stole Your Love, that came from Burn by Deep Purple. Black Diamond was Brown Sugar. So they're very cool with talking about their inspirations. But this was one that really has never gotten. It reminds me of the issue with Dreamin' off Psycho Circus. Kiss, their publishing at least, was sued by Alice Cooper's publishing because they said that the song was plagiarized from I'm 18 by Alice Cooper.
Okay, I don't know that one.
And if you listen to it, it's like, if you're reaching for a legal case, you could try and bring it before a judge,
silly.
But it was so silly. Alice had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Kiss had nothing to do with it.
And
it was one of those
it's
things.
Never the artist.
No, it's like, hey, you good? Yeah, we're good. It's just guys in suits. It's
and I hate that stuff because, like, I feel like most of the general public doesn't understand how that works, so they think it's one artist suing another artist. There was something...
And now they have beef.
Like, to bring it to, like, current pop culture, there was something like that a few years ago with Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo. And...
What?
And people just took the story out of context and think that they have beef over this song when it literally is just their record labels and things like that has nothing to do with it.
What was the legal issue? I did not hear about this.
It wasn't a huge issue, and people also will say, like, oh, she sued her. Nobody sued anybody. There's an Olivia Rodrigo song called Deja Vu that came out on her first album in, like, 2021.
Right.
And the bridge
Sour?
of the song, Sour. Mm-hmm. The bridge of the song, I guess, is reminiscent of the bridge of Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift from Lover, which came out in 2019.
Oh, so it was kind of recent. But
and it's like, I barely hear it. It's just like...
There's only so many bridges.
It's a big bridge with, like, kind of yelly type vocals.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like you mentioned with Kiss, like, acknowledging their inspirations, I'm pretty sure she even mentioned that she was inspired by Cruel Summer and kind of wanted it to have that vibe. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they ended up having to give Taylor songwriting credits on that song because of it. Yeah, if you look at that song, Taylor has songwriting credits.
And
she had nothing to do with it.
serious?
She had nothing to do with it personally.
Oh, wow. No, that went over my head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't really
understand.
understand.
Like what's that bridge? That's the worst thing you ever heard. That's what it is?
Yep.
I feel like that whole bridge is Olivia's whole vibe.
Yeah, it is. And
so
also, like, she was never, she's probably because of all this nonsense, she doesn't really talk about Taylor anymore in the media.
That sucks because she was a fan.
I know, but before she got huge, that she talked about how much that she was an inspiration to her. Like, she was a huge fan, and of course she's influenced. But that's back to Kiss. That's just how music works. Like, you are gonna be you are gonna be influenced by things, and it doesn't mean anybody's stealing anything from anybody.
Totally.
That's just art.
For sure. Well, how about Yes, I Know, Nobody's Perfect? That's our last money bag. Or that's the last Blood Orange. Don't you waste it.
So good.
Don't you waste it. No, but so Nobody's Perfect. this song's not perfect, but
yes, my favorite Hannah Montana song.
Nobody's perfect. You live and you work. Okay, yeah. Get into wow.
Sorry.
Okay. No,
I can't help it. I think about it every time.
That's fine. Yes, I know. Nobody's perfect. What do you think about this?
Kind of a skip Gene song for me. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Okay.
Is that bad?
No.
I mean, I don't actually.
Anybody can have your own opinion. I'm not thought.
I would not skip it listening to the album all the way through. But if I were listening to like a Kiss playlist on shuffle or something, I don't need to hear this song.
And it's because the lyrics are disjointed.
They make it's one of those ones that makes no sense and not in like a fun way.
Right. It's a very nonsensical Gene because I like the message. You know, nobody's perfect. Okay, maybe I come awfully close. You know, he's being a little cheeky.
Yes, it is cheeky.
It's Gene saying, "Look, I'm not perfect, you know, but maybe I'm, close." It's one of those like that's cool, but then you have the baby stop and take off your clothes.
That's the corny
take
stuff
it off,
that
Mama.
I can't handle.
Yeah, when Gene says "Mama," it's like no.
Ew.
No, sir.
It gives me an icky feeling.
It's weird.
And that's the problem is that like the cheeky, confident chorus like would
it's
work.
Cool.
If the rest of the song had anything to do with that.
Yes.
But it doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot tonight. You got something I want to talk about. I got something you can't live without. Here comes your knight in shining armor again. Oh, what?
Yeah. It's...
Flip a coin. Is it heads or tails tonight?
That's Gene with his, oh my gosh.
You can't bring this boy to his knees. Guess I'm guilty, baby, if you please. It just does not make any sense.
So, would you be surprised if I told you that this is another 80s demo?
Not at all. At this point, I'll be surprised if there's a Gene song on this album that is not from an 80s demo.
For sure. I don't think there is. Spoiler alert, I don't think there is. But, yeah, this one there's a demo of the same name from Around Asylum.
Yeah.
I don't know how similar it is. I think there are parts that are similar. Like the nobody's perfect. Like that part is definitely in the original demo. But yeah, again, it's a very disjointed song, but I love it because of the high energy, the chorus.
Yeah.
And for me, it's the cowbell. Because you have the
cowbell is great. It's very rock and roll over.
It's very rock and roll over. It's very 70s Kiss.
Yeah.
You know, Kiss has the best use of cowbell.
Yes.
Out of like most bands.
Honestly,
I can't think of okay, Nazareth, now y'all messing with okay, great. That's pretty good. Blue Oyster Cult, we can go there all day, for sure. But Kiss, man.
Yeah.
Kiss and cowbell goes hand in hand.
Agreed.
Like I'm not even gonna try and make a joke out of that. But anyway, it's a good song. I love it because of the cowbell. I think it's a fun song to sing, even though
fun to sing along too.
It is disjointed. And this was a song that when Paul talked about it, he was like, again, we're trying to get Gene back on track. We're looking at that ladies' room plaster caster Gene.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going for.
Fair.
And so when you look at it with those specs, you know, it checks out.
Yeah.
It's a 70s inspired song with an 80s demo being sung by current Kiss. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I think I would accept it a little bit more if I feel like the chorus is almost so good. With the Nobody's Perfect, I come awfully close, but I feel like he just gave up on writing the rest of it with the take off your clothes. Just because it rhymes and it like...
This would have been great if it had a Paul co-write.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
But if you look at the
Gene
credits,
only song,
it's a Gene only.
Yep.
And it shows. It's a Gene only and it shows. This would have been one that I think Paul should have really came in and
cleaned up.
and cleaned up. Yeah. Either way, fun track. But yes, it does go without saying that this album, Sonic Boom, is a good album. I think Sonic Boom would have been a perfect album if you had a little bit more lyrical prowess from Gene.
Yes.
Which is why, again, Monster is superior in that way. Songs like The Devil Is Me.
No, Gene's songs
Back
on Monster.
to the Stone Age, Wall of Sound. That's the Gene we know. That's the Gene we love. I love they're trying to go for the ladies' room. Dr. Love.
Yeah.
It's cool. But that was also...
They're going for his, 70s, player kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But, no offense...
In the Family Jewels era.
Yeah.
Where he's a dad.
Right.
And he's an old man. Which, again, I can't say that I'm too grown for that, or he's too grown for that, because I love Take Me Down Below off of Monster. So I can't say that. But it's like...
I feel like that's still more tasteful, though, because it's
funny.
Yeah.
this is not really humorous. It's kind of silly.
I don't know. I feel like in the more modern time, not that he can't do songs like that just because he's old. Like, that's not what we mean at all. But I feel like it's more appropriate to lean into the demon kind of stuff, which, you know what I mean?
There was a surprising lack of demon songs without it. It seemed like they were trying to like not go for any of that darker stuff.
Yeah.
They were going for the 70s sleazy cock rock stuff, which again is what all the kids loved back in the day, which is fine.
And I completely understand why they would make that choice.
Grew up and didn't like it anymore. You know what I mean? So
I understand their line of thinking with their comeback album wanting to do that, but unfortunately it didn't land with those people the same way they thought it
this
would.
is one of those songs that people like to poke at and use as saying, well, it worked back then but it doesn't today, so which I get it, it is what it is. Now, let's go with Stand.
Ooh.
Because Stand, I think, is the most unique Kiss song on this album.
Yeah.
It is the most unique song because, let's be honest, I mean, Kiss always talks about you, right? I believe in me. I was made for loving you. I love it loud.
Right.
Always I. When do you ever hear Kiss talk about we and us? That, to me, is what makes this song better than a lot of other Kiss songs. Because it's the power of friendship. It's the power of brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's the power of camaraderie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And for Kiss to... I love that. I love that they... I will be there until the end. Count on me. You've always got a friend. You know what I mean? Like, that... I could say that to you as, you're... as my spouse.
Yeah.
You can say it to a best friend.
Yeah, or a family member.
Yes.
Or,
Gene and Paul could say it to each other. Eric and Tommy could say it to Gene and Paul. Gene and Paul to Eric and Tommy. It's like, this
it's a
has
universal,
so many applications.
It's a universally relatable song.
Yeah.
And it's done so well. Because some people try and do that and it just does not land. This lands.
Well, this is one that folks will say is too cheesy and corny. And I'm like, if it's cheesy and corny, you must not have anybody in your life like this. Because, like, this is really cool. To actually have somebody in your life like that, where you can say, like, blindfolded with a gun, you can pull the trigger and you still won't shoot me because I trust you that much.
Right.
Like, I have full trust and full faith in you.
Yeah.
It's like Gene and Paul are like that, and now they have Tommy and Eric who are also like that. And it's like you have a band that's together.
Yeah.
Which you didn't always have that. And it was just like, again, this song I was not expecting. So when I heard Stand By My Side and We'll Make It Through, stand by my side and I'll be there, when you need me. Just look over your shoulder. And no matter, I'm next to you, I'm in front of you, I'm behind you. I got you. I got your six. You're good.
Yeah.
Just go in life and do what you want because you can count on me.
Yeah.
Like, everybody needs a person like that. And for Gene and Paul to have that and to be willing to say that on record is dope.
Yeah.
There's a Gene and Paul co-write.
I love it.
So there you go.
Do you want to hear exactly what I wrote down in my notes about this song?
I do.
Just because it's kind of funny.
I do.
I said, one of the best songs on the album, and people can line up to fight me about that. Group vocals, back and forth, Gene and Paul vocals, a positive message, yes please.
Yes, absolutely. This is the only song where you have Gene and Paul trading back lead vocals.
I love that. I'm such a sucker for that.
Anytime Gene and Paul do that, it's it's going to be a good song.
It really is like they're talking to each other. And then on the chorus, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're all four singing. It gives me goosebumps. I don't care if you think it's cheesy. You need to refathom because it is a fantastic song.
One of the things that really hit me this time, especially because this is the 5th anniversary, and we're talking about it in depth, and so there's a part in that song where everything gets real quiet, and it's Stand By My Side, beautiful harmony, beautiful singing. That part right there is the exact same in my head as that same part in I Just Wanna.
Oh.
I can't take this one more day. If I can't. You have the whole group singing like almost like a lullaby.
It also reminds me of God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Very much so.
That part. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. But I just think that... Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure Paul, in that breakdown, Paul even said that when he wrote it, he was thinking of writing an anthemic, kind of like God Gave Rock and Roll to You, where it's musically anthemic in that way. So I think you're onto something there.
Okay.
So it's funny how you mentioned that from Revenge, because I listened to I Just Wanna with that a cappella part, with those, a cappella vocals, and I'm like, it's the same thing on here.
It's beautiful.
It's Revenge.
Yeah.
You're just copying and pasting Revenge, but like not like actually like in a bad way.
Right, yeah.
But it's the same guys. You know what I mean? It's Gene and Paul. You know, people think that like we always divide Kiss into eras where it's like, oh, it's this Kiss, and it's that Kiss, and then this Kiss. It's like, it's all Kiss.
And it's all Gene and Paul.
You know what I
Every
mean?
single album.
Yeah, and it's like, even though it was like 1 or 2 years apart, we always think that this era is just so much different than this era.
Right.
It's like Dynasty, Unmasked, The Elder, and Creatures was the same length as the End of the Road Tour. Those 4 years were the same as the End of the Road Tour.
That is crazy to think about.
But those are all 4 different eras.
Right.
Because they have different members, different costumes, and different, all this and that. We'll find any reason to divide Kiss into a million different pieces. It's all just Kiss.
Yeah.
And again, you have 3/4 of Revenge on this album. So it was cool to hear, some of that. Again, you got 70s Kiss on here, you got 80s Kiss, you got 90s Kiss. It's all just kind of mingled in there. But, this is a fantastic song. I love this. Again, it's the We for me.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the We.
Agreed.
We'll make it through. Love that. So let's get on to track number 6, I believe, which is Hot and Cold. This is the opening track on side 2. This is my favorite Gene song.
Is it?
One of my favorite Gene songs on the album. Yeah.
It's
one of 2.
It's probably one of mine too. It's still pretty nonsensical, but the chorus is just so good and so fun to sing along to. Yeah. Was that not what we were singing before?
Is this the one, What Color Is My Heart? Yes. Can It Be Torn Apart? Yes. Yeah, this is...
Yeah. This is one where, like...
Don't turn your back on me, you'll be in misery.
Yeah, this is one where I feel like the lyrics are corny, but they still work. You know what I mean? They're not too outrageous for me to accept.
This is a Gene only?
Is it really?
I think this is a Gene only. Yeah. Okay. It is. Written by Gene.
Do you have any info on
the
origins of this song?
Of course I do. So this actually comes from the 70s.
Whoa,
okay. So if people were really missing 70s Kiss,
here it is.
Hot and Cold is your 70s Kiss track. Because in 76, Gene had a demo called Rotten to the Core. Mm-hmm. I was talking about earlier Rotten to the Core from Hot in the Shade. Well, this is the other one.
Ones that are completely
different. This is in classic, Gene fashion. But, yes, so this is a demo from 76, and it used a lot. Like, a lot of the lyrics are just straight up from this. I don't know, I'm trying to think, because I listened to it, I can't remember if the chorus is the same or anything. I think it used a lot of the same verses and maybe changed the chorus or whatever. But, no, I'm with you. I love the chorus. It's the chorus for me. It's so much fun. It's the back and forth gang vocals, too loud, you're too old if it's too... Yeah, we all know that song. Yeah, I love that. I think it's great. You have some really good cowbell.
Yes, you're right.
You have more cowbell. On this album. So for me, it's a fun song. Again, yeah, it isn't the most sensical, but it still is really fun. And not only do you have Gene using some 70s lyrics, but on the solo when it opens, Tommy does an Ace riff verbatim.
Nice.
It's the. It's literally from, like, She.
Okay.
It's from a song on Love Gun. Like, Ace used that a couple times. And so Tommy is literally bringing that back to show us, just, again, I got 70s lyrics with a cool throwback 70s riff. So I like the little minutia they're putting in there.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is something that folks will point out, like, oh, Tommy, he's ripping off Ace. See, it's like... He's the spaceman giving homage to Ace.
Ace, yeah.
Ace deserves that homage.
Right.
You can't remove the spaceman from Ace, even though Tommy is the spaceman. You can't remove Ace from the picture.
And Tommy has never tried to.
And Tommy's never tried to.
Like, exactly like that video that we were watching that you talked about. He specifically, like, of his own free will, mentioned Ace and gave credit where credit is due.
Because if he didn't, he'd be lying, and we would all know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't even try. You know what I mean? It's Kiss. Just be Kiss. And Tommy's like, we're going to do Kiss. You know? And so it was cool to hear him using that lick. Now, this is the song that... this one actually did get played live.
Oh, did it?
Once.
Okay.
It was played once on the Kiss Cruise.
Okay.
I think it was Kiss Cruise 9, Kiss Cruise 7. I think it was Kiss Cruise 7. Because they were in Creatures outfits.
Okay.
So imagine Kiss in Creatures outfits with Eric and Tommy playing the Sonic Boom song.
That's so fun.
With lyrics from the 70s. Again, I just love when Kiss crosses over like that.
So Kiss.
So this song to me was one of the more fun songs on the album and one of my favorite Gene songs.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a great song.
It's got a fun chorus, and I always wondered if they titled it that because Katy Perry had a song called Hot and Cold that was real big at the same time.
Yes.
So
it was
everybody,
the same time period.
Yeah, 09.
Right.
Yeah, so like everybody's going online typing in Hot and Cold song looking for Katy Perry, and they get Kiss. I doubt anybody actually did that, but it made me wonder if that was ever
a funny theory.
Part of the equation.
Right.
But no, anyway, so we're moving on now to All for the Glory. This is Eric's vocal debut.
Banger.
Yes.
I love this song.
Technically, this actually is not Eric's vocal debut.
What is it?
I mean, I guess it's his first original vocal debut, but he was on... he sang Black Diamond on Jacoco Retsutin, the re-record.
Oh, okay.
Which was then put as Kiss Classics on here. So technically...
But that is a re-record.
That was a re-record,
right.
But that was his first actual, but this was his first original vocal debut. He didn't write the song. He didn't write any of the lyrics. It was Paul and Gene, actually.
Cool,
that
I like
wrote this.
that. Yeah. well, because it's another one of those kind of we type of songs. Like, we're all for one, all for the glory.
Thank you. You're right.
Yeah.
This is also...
It's kind of the...
Wow.
Similar vibe to Stand, but a little bit less emotional, more just like empowering.
I think Kiss needs more of that. Because you can do the I thing all day, but you're a band. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if you ain't got nobody in your corner, then, like, who are you? You know what I mean? So... I like that. All for the glory. Yeah, we're all for one and we're all for the glory.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, you're gonna know the story. I love how, and this might be obvious because it's very on the nose, but I never noticed it until this time around, or never, thought about it until this time around.
Okay.
I love how the very first lyric of his first original song mentions a drum. And he's the drummer. Out on the street and my heart starts to beat like a drum.
For sure. I was going somewhere else with that.
What were you going to say?
Because I thought it was kind of cool that the first lyric of his first original song is out on the street, which is the same words that Peter sang in Black Diamond. Out on the streets for a living.
Whoa!
It could be a coincidence.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. So
that's a cool double though. Like that first line packs a punch.
That first line.
I was listening to it today, and today was probably my 5th time listening through this album in the last week. But for some reason, it was just today that I was like, oh, my heart starts to beat like a drum. I never thought about that.
Yeah, for sure.
That had to be intentional.
And he's the drummer.
Yeah, that's great.
So speaking of lyrics, because everybody might know that I was asked to review some Kiss songs for the new book, Raise Your Glasses.
Yes.
And I specifically mainly did only songs from Sonic Boom, A Monster, and Psycho Circus, because that's my area. And this was one of the songs that I reviewed. And when I was writing those reviews, I was just listening to the song that I was reviewing on repeat.
Yeah.
And just like, what makes this song great to me? What does it mean to me? What am I noticing? And when I reviewed this song, I don't know why, but I heard these lyrics, but I never just sat and read them.
Yeah.
So listen to this. This is the most Kiss I've ever heard. I don't run. I don't hide.
Oh.
Take a look. You won't see fear in my eyes.
That's one of my favorite lines.
One way. My way. Crazy Nights. If there's a price to pay for all that I got, I'm going to give it all. I'm going to take my shot. I love that. Again, you hear it on the album.
I gave me goosebumps.
And they sound real great when they sing it, because I think Paul's quoted talking about how, the band has 4 great voices. And it was for this album, too. He was talking about how, when doing this album, he was like, the band has 4 great voices that when we all sing together, it's like the world singing together.
It's fantastic. And the group vocals again on this song are
amazing. I love that. But when you strip that away and just look at the lyrics,
so
I don't run and I don't hide.
Yeah.
I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I don't run. I don't hide. Take a look. You won't see 1 ounce of fear in my eyes. There's only one way. My way.
That's fantastic.
Damn. Some good lyrics. And Eric's vocals in this were really good. Although Eric admittedly was a little self-conscious about this and said afterwards that he thought that Paul should have sang it. And that because vocally, he said it would have fit Paul better vocally. but he just, did his best. I'm like, dude, you did amazing.
I was going to say, I disagree, because I feel like if Paul sang it, it'd be maybe a little too similar to Stand. But with Eric's vocals on it, it's a whole different vibe, and I love his voice.
Yeah, me too.
I think he has a fantastic voice. I love to hear him sing.
Yeah, I will say it does have one of the more weird Kiss lyrics that I've ever heard.
Which one?
We live the life, we paid our dues, we're hanging tight, we make the news.
We're hanging tight. I don't think I ever realized that he was saying we're hanging tight.
Yeah, we live the life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We paid our dues.
Well, I get
we're
those
hanging
two.
tight.
It's the hang tight.
We make the news.
Yeah.
Like, those lyrics to me are just so fun. It's so funny.
The hang tight is what
yeah,
gives me.
We're hanging tight.
That's very, surfer lingo.
Yeah, for real. We're hanging tight. We make the news.
Yeah.
Like, it's so...
I like we make the news, though. It's like we make headlines. Like, I get that one.
We make headlines. We're number one forever and always. We're Kiss. But
we're newsworthy.
The way it was worded, yeah. But anyway, we're going to move on down to Dangerous, because this is one of those songs that fans love to pick on, and I don't care if you guys pick on it, go ahead, but this was one that even today, when I hear it, I'm like, this is the most classic Kiss song on the album.
Okay.
Like, this riff to me is like Mr. Speed.
Yeah.
Was that Mr. Speed, or was that Dangerous? You'll never know. Because it's in that same vein. So whereas... earlier I said Monday Delilah doesn't really sound like a classic Kiss song that much. This is the one that, to me, it's like, yeah, you could lift this off of here and put it on Rock and Roll Over, and it would fit right at home.
I love the really simple guitar intro before all the rest of before the drums and everything kick in. Yes. Oh, it's so good.
That's a really cool twist, because they're playing. Paul's playing the riff, but he's only playing like the lead notes.
Yes.
So he's missing a few, and it's real quiet and twangy. And then you hear the amplifier feedback get real big.
It just hits that much harder when everything else kicks in.
And it goes right into the song, and it's so good. So good. I love this song. Now, the reason why people love to poke fun at this is because of the danger me, danger you, danger
you
us.
And then me. But yes,
danger you, danger me, danger us.
Yes.
I think it's so great. If I'm lame because of that, then I'm lame. But I think that's so fun.
I had the same exact thought. I was like, is the hook corny? Yes, but to me, this is the good kind of corny. I do not even care, and the rest of the song is just so freaking good.
Yeah.
What are the first lyrics in the first verse?
The first lyrics in this song are heaven. Don't send me someone to love.
Please send me someone to love. Right?
Don't send me someone to love is what this says. Heaven. Don't send me someone to love.
Is that the lyric? I thought it was heaven. Please send me someone to love. That doesn't make any sense. But I just the way the verses are so good. The heaven, and then I love the one where he starts, people don't always know.
He opens the second
because
verse
it just reminds you of Paul on stage, yelling people. I love it.
This is one of those things I feel like that if everybody was, back in the 70s, when they were young, 15, hearing this song, Danger Me, Danger You, Danger Us, it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yes.
But now that you're old, it's not cool.
Right.
Well, guess what? I was 15 when this album came out.
It's cool.
And that was cool to me.
It's still
I was like, oh, I get it, Danger Us.
Yeah.
But Danger
Is it a silly pun? Sure, but it works.
I'm here for the puns, though. Yeah. I'm here, Kiss is littered with silly puns like that.
And what's the rest of the chorus? 2 parts trouble...
Yeah, 2 parts trouble, double down tough, danger you, danger me, danger us.
I don't know why the 2 parts trouble makes me feel like he's brewing a potion or something.
Then it's 2 parts trouble, ready, steady, rough.
Yes.
So you got double down tough and ready, steady, rough. Or double down tough and ready, steady, rough. Interesting.
Why does it remind me of a witch making a potion, double toil and trouble?
Double toil and trouble, 2 parts trouble.
Yes, that's what it makes me think of.
Yes, 1 part passion, I love that. Every time we meet, we're like TNT. Light the dynamite.
That's so
that
good.
That is great. I love that. Anybody who's not, you're all just need to have some fun.
And see, this is something that makes a corny chorus like that work. Is when the rest of the song fits with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas some of the Gene ones, the chorus is so disjointed from the rest of the album that it is just weird. But the rest of the song fits with the dangerous vibe. We're like TNT, light the dynamite.
Yeah, Paul's got a theme.
Yeah, it just works so well. I love it.
I love it. People don't always know what they mean. Passion play can make a lonely heart bleed. I don't want my candy sweet. You don't want your lovin' nice.
Oh,
woo! Danger you, danger me.
Yeah.
It's I love that. So
that reminds me of Tough Love.
This song is, you could really play Dangerous and Tough Love back to back, and they would sound pretty good. There was one time where I played, I think it was Take It Off and Never Enough, which they're not the same lyrically,
right?
But just the music, the big Paul vocals, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
But again, it's Revenge and Sonic Boom, so it must be miles
so
apart.
Different. Yeah.
It's like, no,
it's really not.
It's all just Kiss,
and like you said, 3 out of 4 are the same members.
3 out of 4, yeah, for real. And Paul's still Paul, so he's him,
Yeah.
Love this song. Allegedly, it was one of the first recorded and first written.
Okay. That's fun to know.
That's according to KissConcertHistory.com. But I heard that. I did not know that. But if that was the case, I mean, I can see why they would write that and be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. Because, again, it's written and with that classic Kiss feel.
Yeah.
So then you have I'm an Animal, which is the most Gene song on the album, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the best Gene song of the album.
I think it's my favorite Gene song on the album, too. Although this one does have a crazy history with it, too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say that I did not fully fathom this song until this listening.
Okay.
And I think it is partially because a video you showed me the other night of them doing this live, which I didn't know that it had ever been performed live.
Yep.
And it was so good.
Way better live.
And it is way better than the studio version, but it made me appreciate the studio version more than I had previously.
The writing.
And you also mentioned that it almost gave you, not lyrically obviously, but it almost gave you like carnival vibes.
The music did.
Because it is like one of those slow but heavy songs.
Carnival of Souls has that slow, gloomy, and then so you get
but
that
so hard at the same time.
I'm alive in the street, and it feels like a bear when he's walking, all that weight,
Yes, that's such a good way to describe it.
A lion on the hunt, just all this mass coming through.
An animal.
But real slow,
Yeah.
I'm alive in the streets.
Made of fire,
made of heat. Yeah, Paul live on the chorus coming in with the fire made of heat. I'm like, that's it right there.
It's so
that's
good.
What I'm talking
and
about.
Honestly, Eric, what I noticed in that video is Eric is actually singing the highest harmony. Yeah. And it's so good. And there are those harmonies present on the album, but I really wish they were louder. I wish that all the other layers were louder. Because live it was so much different. I had never really heard Eric way up there doing that, and now I can hear it, but I still have to like search for it a little bit.
Yeah.
But such a good vibe, such a cool song.
It is a cool song. I love it. This one was the most Demon song on the album.
Yes, definitely.
Which it comes from the most non-Demon demo of all time.
Okay, tell me.
Feel Like Heaven.
Oh, yes. No, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, that.
Whoa.
When we got the Creatures box set.
Yes, I forgot.
And we heard Feel Like Heaven, I was like, oh, this is the best Gene demo ever. And I'm like, wait a minute, those are the lyrics to I'm an Animal. I can feel your heart pound. I can feel a beat.
Yeah.
I can make the earthquake under your feet. And he changed it to Can you feel your heart pound? So just by doing that, you're now asking a question.
Yeah.
And you're making it way more, like, you're making it less like roller disco.
Yeah.
And more like introspective, like making you think about it.
Yeah.
Are you
serious.
superstitious?
Yeah.
Live a fantasy? Don't need no ball of crystal to tell you what you see. It's like, woohoo!
Those are great lyrics.
Also from the original demo. Yeah. It's crazy how Gene can do that, because Gene wrote, again, you got Feel Like Heaven, which is what would you describe that song as?
I don't know, but I'm obsessed with it.
All I hear is roller disco.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to roller disco, and just rollerblade to that song over and over again.
Like heaven.
Feel like heaven. It's like, heaven, yes, I can. Whatever genre that is, I love it. I'm here for it. Gene can write that, and he can take that exact same song lyrically and make it into I'm an Animal.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so...
And it works.
So interesting, and it works. So again, this just goes to show you, every single Gene song came from an 80s rewrite, but this one is an unlikely one.
This one works the most.
I'm sorry, that one was a 70s one. Hot and Cold was 70s. Right. But still, this one is definitely...
Gene was allergic to writing new material in the 2000s.
Yeah, pretty much, it felt like. Yeah, and I think there's some original material on Monster.
Right. And it does show. Cause,
it does show, yeah. I think Paul kind of was like, all right, let's do it for real this time.
Let's start from scratch here.
Yeah, this time, but with more fervor.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, still a great song. Love the riff. After the second chorus, I think, where it's just the riff, dun 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 dun.
So good.
It's so Metallica. Just
Yeah.
the riff by itself.
I can
It's
see
so
that.
it's so heavy. And it sounded even better live. And yeah, you mentioned not hearing it live. So we did. It was played live on the Hottest Show on Earth tour. And when Gemini was there in Indianapolis, they played that song.
So jealous.
And it was a moment where that was one of two moments where they got me.
Yeah.
Because at 15, 16, you're like, oh, I'm the biggest Kiss fan in the world. You know,
Right.
They can't fool me. I know everything. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I got all these books. I got the internet. And then you go see them live, and they play "I'm an Animal" and "Crazy Crazy Nights," and I was doing backflips. I was like, I'm getting fed out here.
Yeah.
I'm getting new Kiss. I'm getting old Kiss. I'm getting all the Kiss. They opened with Martin and Delilah.
Yeah.
That was the great thing about that show, too, or that whole tour, was that became the opener.
Yeah.
I think when they first put it in the set, it was like halfway down 3/4, but then when they went to Europe for the Sonic Boom tour and then back to the States for the Hottest Show on Earth tour, it was the opener.
That's awesome.
It opened the set, and it was the best opener they could have done. That version of Rock and Ring is like one of the best. Just super awesome. But yeah, the heaviness in this is great. At the end, you get a real primal scream from Gene.
Yes, it's so good.
That reminds me of Unholy. There's
yes.
at the end of Unholy, that scream at the end of Unholy.
Wow.
This is just like that.
Yep.
Again, you're getting those
Good catch.
I'm getting those flashbacks of like 70s or 80s Gene or 90s Gene in an 80s Gene rewrite. So really, really cool, and my favorite Gene song on the album.
Yeah, same.
Let's move on now to track number 10. This is When Lightning Strikes. This is Tommy's vocal debut. Tommy's song with the most cowbell, by the way,
so
from
much.
Eric Singer. The
Yeah.
whole album has a bunch of cowbell, and on Tommy's song, Eric's like, I'm just going to go. I just take the whole kid away.
That's all I need.
It's just me and the cowbell. But no, Tommy knocked this one out of the park.
Freaking love this song.
Allegedly, 20 minutes. Vocal takes. 20 minutes. Take one. Done. Got it. Boom.
Wow.
That was pretty impressive to me.
That's awesome.
According to Tommy Thayer, it was like 20 minutes done.
I love this song.
In there and out.
This is just like, the lyrics are so cool because it just like feels like Tommy like really stepping into his own and like owning his spot in the band and being confident, and it's just such a good vibe.
Yeah.
And I like how they did one of those songs that fits into the Spaceman kind of vibe, but we went, instead of space, we went back to like the shock me, like electricity kind of thing.
Yeah, like weather.
Yes,
you know.
yeah. It still fits with the Spaceman character, but we're kind
Right,
of going back to the
It
electricity.
was like meeting in the middle, because you have the Shock Me, and then you have like, Into the Void and all these other space, Rocket Ride.
Right.
But then you have Where Lightning Strikes, right in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not the ground, not the sky, or not the space, it's in the sky.
Right. It's electricity in the sky. Yeah. You're right. It's kind of both.
Yeah. It's both.
I like that.
I never really kind of thought about that, but yeah, no, this song to me, I think I've always loved it. Always thought it was great. Great guitar, great riff. Of course, it's Tommy's song.
Yeah, solo's so good.
He's not going to just botch his own song. But lyrically, I think this song has more to it than anybody has given credit to it.
Agreed.
And has so far.
Who wrote this song?
This was Tommy's song, Tommy's idea that Paul tweaked.
Nice.
So,
that makes me so happy to know that Tommy actually did write most of these lyrics.
On Monster, Out of This World, that was Tommy only.
Oh, it's awesome. I love
no
that
Paul,
song.
nothing.
I love that song.
And that's the best songs on the album.
Yeah.
Out of This World, Tommy has one of the best songs on Monster, and that was him only. This one was obviously Tommy coming in with a song, him only, and then Paul, kind of tweaked it. But I think this song lyrically has more going for it than anybody has given credit for it.
Read us some
the
lyrics.
opening lyric is, "It's my move, the ground shaking. This time I'm going to knock you down. So it's my move. I am the spaceman now."
Yeah.
This song
Deal with it.
talks about Tommy's coming into the band and becoming the spaceman.
Mm-hmm.
It's my move now. The ground shake, earthquake. What's going to happen? Is there going to be a kiss? Should there be a kiss? This time I'm going to knock you down. I can't verify this, but this would not be surprising to me if this was a little bit of a diss to Ace. Because Ace, one time, having come backstage, he was late for a show, and they said, "Tommy, get suited up in the spaceman costume, you're going." When Ace saw him, he flipped out and just punched Tommy in the face.
Yeah.
And, Tommy had the last laugh, because Tommy laughed all the way to the bank, and has been a spaceman for way longer than Ace was.
So true.
And you got 2 generations who only know Tommy as a spaceman, so it's it's my move. This time I'm knocking you down.
Yeah.
No more. I'm coming through. No more waiting. I'm on the move at the speed of sound.
Ooh, at the
By
speed
the way,
of sound.
what's that? Speed of sound. It's a sonic boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Whoa,
you
yeah.
break a sound barrier, sonic boom. So the lyric in the song.
That's really cool.
I love when bands do that.
I never would have thought about that.
I hadn't heard it until now because you're like, oh yeah, it's just cool kind of cliche lyrics. No.
They don't say the word sonic boom, but they reference the sonic boom.
He said, I'm on the move like the speed of sound. I'm alive like a hurricane flies.
Ooh.
On the run, I don't walk the line. When the sky and the worlds collide, it's my time. I'm going to take what's mine.
It's my time.
It's
I
my
love
time.
that.
Live wire and a loaded gun. Get ready because I'm the one.
Yep.
There is nobody else that could have been a spaceman.
Yeah.
You know? And when Ace left and decided that he was not going to show up to that Jamaican show, or any show after that for that matter, it was clear that it was Tommy's gig and Tommy only. Mm-hmm. There was no reason for them to have auditions.
No, you have the perfect person right there.
This guy has been with you through thick and thin.
Yeah, it's literally a no-brainer.
For 20 years, he'll be with you through thick and thin for 20 more.
Yeah, until you tell him it's over. Yeah.
Watch him. And as soon as Tommy stepped in, he never stepped out. He was never asked to step out.
Yeah. He's
the only member other than Gene and Paul to never have been replaced.
Yeah. He was just like, I'm here.
Tommy Thayer. When lightning doesn't strike twice. What's that old saying?
Yes, lightning
doesn't strike twice in the same place.
In the same spot,
yeah, lightning never strikes twice. That's what he's saying. This is my opportunity to become the lead guitar player in Kiss.
Yeah.
This will never happen again. This is my time. So this song is very much autobiographical, and I love it for those reasons.
It's so good.
You got Live Wire and Loaded Gun, Get Ready Because I'm the One, and then Black Cloud and the Rebel Sun.
Ooh.
Get Ready Because I'm the One.
Black Cloud and the Rebel
Unleash
Sun.
the storm that's inside of me.
I love that.
Tommy for years was just looking for his chance, man. Because he was always good at writing songs and playing guitar, black and blue. He was always good performing, but he never just kind of, found his place. And so here he is as the lead guitar player in Kiss for, at this point, 6 years or something like that. So, super awesome. What a great song. A flash of light electrifies my heart and my soul. And lightning's going to strike tonight.
Yeah. That's
Perfect
so
song.
good.
Perfect song.
Can I make a stupid pop culture reference that I've just been thinking of this entire time?
Of course.
If you want to cut it out, you can. But I just can't help but think of in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, yeah.
There's a character, Rhodey, who in the first Iron Man movie is played by one character, and then from the second Iron Man movie, I think, on out is played by Don Cheadle.
Yep.
And when you first see him as a new actor, what's his first line? Like,
it's me, I'm here, deal with it.
I love it.
And that's Tommy. It's me, I'm here, deal with it.
That's what I've been thinking about this whole time.
Yes, I love it. There's also Wrong or Right, They Call Me Dynamite.
Ooh.
High Voltage, Running Free.
Yeah.
Release Performance. So I love that. Wrong or Right, They Call Me, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Xander thinks I'm dope.
Right?
Like it or not, they still call me Dynamite.
Yep.
They still show up. They still buy tickets.
Absolutely.
We still sell out.
Yep.
We still headline festivals.
You can complain all you want. It won't matter.
You can complain all you want. I can't. I don't care because my amp's at 12.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. This song, I think, is better now than it ever has been.
Agreed.
Same with Say Yeah. Let's go to Say Yeah now.
I love
Closing
Say Yeah.
song on the album. Say Yeah. Paul Only. He said this song, when he wrote it, he knew what he was going for, and it turned out just as good, if not better, than what he wanted.
It's a perfect closer in the same way that Modern Day Delilah is a perfect opener.
Well, I'm glad you think that, because
Wow.
I did not for the longest time,
You didn't?
and I finally do. And again, it's because I always wanted there to be another song like Modern Day Delilah on the album.
Okay.
But why?
No,
There's
you don't need
already
one.
that song on the album. This song is a perfect anthem. Modern Day Delilah is not an anthem. It's just a song about a tortured love.
Yeah.
Love, love gone wrong. You know what I mean? So this one is more along the lines of like Rock and Roll All Night, in the sense that this is one that you play live and have the crowd sing back to you.
Yes.
This is one of those ones that when Kiss plays live, you know that you can have a call and response.
Yes.
Band and crowd sing along, gang vocals, and it works every time.
Yeah,
they knocked it out of the park.
It's the perfect live song. It is, and I am so grateful that I got to see it live. I think just
many times.
Oh, many times?
Oh yeah, it was played on the entire End of the Road tour, and then.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I thought they cut it at some point.
I don't think so. Let me look at
I don't think I heard it at my last show.
Let me go to Google real quick.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I love it live. It's fantastic. And it's such a great one because even for the people in the crowd that aren't up to date on more modern Kiss albums, even if you don't know the lyrics, it's so easy to learn the chorus and to be able to sing along to the chorus. And I love songs like that at a concert.
7th song in the
for sure. I just forgot.
Yeah, it was.
I think I'm just really remembering the first time I got to hear it live. It was so exciting.
Oh yeah, no, for real. Because at that point, it had been away for a while.
Okay,
because that was Oh,
okay.
You're thinking of Kiss World Tour.
Okay.
Yes. So, it was played live. Let's see. When was the first time it was played? It was like, I can't remember when it was played live for the first time, but I know that it was played live on the Sonic Boom Tour American Tour, and then it went to Europe, and then when it came back to American Tour, it was still played. But then, of course, it just kind of fell out of the set list as the tour came along. And they were doing Monster now, so whatever. But then, on the Kiss World Tour, they brought it back. They brought back Say Yeah, which was awesome because it was one of those songs where everyone's like, they're going to play the new stuff for one tour. You'll never hear it again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, now, Hallelujah was played on multiple tours, on a live album. Say Yeah came back in the set list, Kiss World Tour, and the entire End of the Road Tour. So it's like, and even though they're not going to compete with like Love Gun and those songs, it's like they still work live. Yeah. And Say Yeah sounded better on this tour, this last tour, than ever before.
So good.
It was so good.
And I just love it because it has those like more dramatic like verses, and then the big simple chorus.
I didn't appreciate the dramatic nature of it. I was always like, the chorus is cool. Say yeah. It's very simplistic, but it's like, I don't want to hear you might. There's a fire getting near, and sparks ignite. If you're ready for a wild ride, go see Kiss in concert. Say yeah. Yeah. Come cheers. Shout out loud. There you go. Yeah. Say yeah. Shout it out loud. That they're of the same mind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a perfect live song.
I love that. So you have again Paul Only. Which probably was the reason why it was the second single released off the album. So this was released December 2nd. In 2009, it charted at number 1 in Russia.
Wow, okay.
That was about it. Didn't really do much damage on the charts, kind of like Never Enough, but it did chart at number 1 on the Russian singles chart. So that's pretty much it as far as what it did as far as mainstream success. But nonetheless, still a really great song. My favorite lyric is, "Your friends are telling you you're better alone, but you'll regret it when you get back home." Yeah. Do not listen. Don't let other people influence you. You know what I mean? Like, somebody else can be a naysayer, can be a hater. Do not let them influence you. You do you. Yeah. You know what I mean? When this album came out, it was uncool to be a Kiss fan. Yeah. It was uncool to all the Kiss fans older than me. It was uncool to the people who were not Kiss fans. You were not supposed to like Kiss in 2009. Right. If you were a Kiss fan, you weren't. No. Right. Tommy and Eric, no. Not supposed to. If you're a fan of like metal and rock and roll at 15 years old, Kiss, no, there has been. People viewed in high school, when I was in high school, I liked, Ozzy and, Kiss and Twisted Sister, but people view Dee Snider, Ozzy, and Gene Simmons as bloated, fat, rich rock stars who are so out of touch that they're uncool. If you're a kid, you don't want to listen to the old guys rocking out. You want to hear the new stuff, the heavy stuff, right? So it was uncool to be a Kiss fan back then, but I knew that I would regret it if I got back home. Yeah. Your friends are telling you you're better alone.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you don't go to that Kiss concert, you don't go to that Kiss Expo, you don't wear that Kiss shirt, you don't collect that Kiss stuff, then you're not living your life. Right. The life that you want to live. That's what I'm saying. Live the life you want to live. Yeah. And to me, that song perfectly sums that up. I love that.
That's really good. Great song.
Get up tight and it all gets so boring. It takes two to make you come alive. Take my hand, kiss your fears goodbye. There's something here that we can't deny. It's a fun song. It's great. It's a fun chorus. I love that. Great way to close out the album. I love that we didn't get 9 songs on the Kiss album. Yes. Because those 9 songs for a while, like on Animalized and stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, guys, come on. So
this is a perfect length album.
11 really good, strong songs. Mm-hmm. But never mind us. I want to know what you guys think because we blabbed on and on about this album. I love it. I want everybody to give it a fresh listen. I know I can already see the comments of folks who either never heard it, never bought it, or haven't listened to it in a long time. I can already hear their comments, but I'm interested in knowing, what did this album do for you then? What does it do for you now? Right?
Yeah.
Where were you at in life when this album came out? I was in high school. Most of you were probably, already out of high school and, working and, were more advanced in life. I want to know, I was in high school literally at the top of my Kiss game as far as just like becoming a Kiss collector and becoming this, fan. Went to see them on the tour, Hottest Show on Earth tour. It was absolutely incredible. I'll never forget going to Walmart and getting to see the Kiss Corner, because the album, of course, was distributed exclusively through Walmart. And when you went into the electronics section, there was a whole aisle, or in our case, a whole corner section that was just Kiss.
That's so cool.
You walked up and there was one 4-foot section with the T-shirts, and then next to it was the blankets. They had these little fleece blankets.
Cool.
And then on the opposite side was all the CDs, right? And then on the back side, you had there was Potato Heads, and there was trading cards.
Okay, so it wasn't just Sonic Boom stuff. It was other Kiss stuff.
It was
too.
all Kiss. Yeah, it was
That's
a
cool.
whole Kiss thing. I mean, you could buy they had the Sonic Boom Kiss shirt and Sonic Boom album, but there was an end cap with other Kiss albums, and they had an end cap with the Kiss M&Ms that are right over there.
I see them.
So it was Kiss was everywhere again. I think I showed the trading cards in a recent episode where each one had a different tour and had all these stats on it. It was dude, it could not have been better. It was never going to be like it was in '77, but this was my version. Where you're going out.
There's something special about a huge album rollout like that.
An album
and getting
rollout.
to be present for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And going and buying the album, and I'll never forget because Dad's friend, that was the one that told us about the name of the album. He's the one that bought his copy and Dad's copy. And so when we got out of school, again, Dad picks up, look what I got, the new album, peeled that plastic off, puts the CD in, we went cruising, listened to the whole album.
It's so awesome.
I don't think I've ever told you this story before, but this is how a man's brain works. We got the album, and we thought it was so cool how you open it up, and you have Paul and Gene and Tommy. Can't wait to see Error. Ooh, error. There's an error. Where's Eric? Eric is gone. We sat here and did this.
Where is he?
Eric's gone. There is no Eric. Look, guys. There's no Eric Singer. Oh, well. We said, forget it. Screw it. It's an error. We'll just listen to the album. Oh, there's Eric. He's underneath the CD. So it literally 5 minutes of us going, are they serious? They left Eric out? Screw it. Put in the album. And then you realize that Eric's underneath the album. So.
I do kind of hate that he's under the CD, but it's still cool.
Fine.
At least he's there.
They did a good... I do not like digipacks. I don't like paper cardboard. But I gotta say, they packaged this to the nines.
Like it. Yeah, I kind of like it in this
because
case.
You got not just the new Kiss album, but the classic re-records and a 6-song DVD of Kiss and Buenos Aires from the previous tour.
So good.
It was kind of outdated because it wasn't their new costumes, but it was still '09 from earlier that year, so it was really, really cool. I could not get over this. And the packaging at the time, the artwork at the time, even though it was made and designed by the same guy that did Rock and Roll Over, Michael Dorrit, that was really cool, but I don't think I really ever appreciated this aesthetic until now.
I know, I love it.
I love this. Did I lose the book? I did. Okay, I was like, why does this feel thin? Where's the booklet? The booklet, if you look through it, has all the instruments.
Oh, so cool.
And I love the blue,
colors
the purple,
are so good.
The colors.
The purple that they use is awesome. The yellow, orange, red, and purple.
Yeah.
And green. There's green in there too.
Oh yeah.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's definitely Rock and Roll Over Rock and Roll Over and Hotter Than Hell.
It's definitely reminiscent, but it's fresh at the same time.
Yeah.
And that Sonic Boom font, that is a logo in and of itself.
It really is.
The Sonic Boom.
Custom logo, custom font.
It's so good.
They did custom logos and custom fonts for both Sonic Boom and Monster.
And I'm looking at it on the back right now, and just the way that they connect to each other too.
You're looking where?
On the back of this album.
Oh, I'm like, where are you looking at? For sure.
But the way the letters connect and they make this cool shape. Oh, I love it. That's graphic design.
That's exactly bingo. So I want to know what you guys think about this album. I personally think that Monster is better, but this is production-wise, I think one of the best albums ever.
Yes.
Again, Psycho Circus was great, a little pretentious. Revenge, great, but there's something about Sonic Boom that is just straight ahead, true, hard rock, perfect for '09. So I want to know what everybody else thinks about this album. I would love to sit here and show you guys every single item in my Sonic Boom collection, but I think I'm going to do that on Facebook. So starting for you guys tomorrow on Monday, the Monday after this goes up, so the 7th, I'll be starting a new collection series for Kiss Merch of the Year.
Nice.
Or Kiss Merch of the Week. It'll be the Sonic Boom collection series, and it's going to take us all the way to the end of the year.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys every item in my Sonic Boom collection. But for now, I want to read your guys' comments. And also get to some more Kiss collecting, because of course I have some Kiss stuff to show.
Of course.
Of course I have something to show for the Collector's Corner. So let's start off with... drum roll, no. Gosh, this is the way too big a box.
For what it is.
For what it is, yeah. But I'm going to get the Kiss knife. Lots of bubble wrap. It's always fun.
Oh, whoa!
Boom! Okay, so
cool.
These are not just new to my collection, but new to the world.
I was going to say, I have not seen these.
2024. This is the...
Is this the first?
This is the only item in my collection that I have that says 2024 Kiss
That's
catalog.
Exciting.
It's exciting and sad.
It's sad that it took till October.
It's 10 months in, and we haven't really had anything worth it in 2024.
Yeah.
I bought those Animalized print stickers, hoping that they would say 2024, or hoping they'd have some cool packaging, and it was just literally
just a sheet by itself,
shoved in
no packaging at all,
a plastic sleeve. That's it, nothing. So pretty upset about that. But this is the only item that I've seen that I can buy that has 2024 on it, and these are absolutely yes. So these are pretty much the exact same as the ones they released a couple years ago, except they're just packaged together and they're all colored.
I was going to say, they're all tinted.
They're tinted to the color of their character.
Blue, red, purple, green. That is so freaking cool.
I love this Kiss knife. It's got Kiss on the blade, dude. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, it's got the Kiss on the blade.
I don't think I ever noticed that.
Sick. It says Kiss. This is the Live 35 tour, too. 35th anniversary. Nice. Living Legend, 73 to 08. But,
does the Gene, Pop Funko always have the little fire thing? That's so cool.
I'm gonna get mobile today.
Oh,
Xander's
you're
going
gonna
mobile.
Go check?
Yep.
If it does, I've never noticed that. That's freaking awesome. He's got the bass in one hand and the fire on the other.
Okay, so the original version does not, but the new one, the new version does. So this is the new version, just tinted blue.
Gotcha.
Or tinted red in Gene's case. Yeah, so the ones from 09 or 2010, whatever, do not have the fire.
I see.
So that's definitely something new. But yeah, now that original Funko set, that's something that everyone's always like, oh, this new stuff isn't going to be worth anything. Those original Funko Pop figures from like 09, 2010, those Kiss ones, go for astronomical prices. Really? Like upwards of like at high end $80 a piece.
Yeah, that's crazy.
80 times 4, that's $320.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That is
for
crazy.
4 figures. Jeb bought them for, let's see, it was $13 a piece, but if you bought 4, it was 10 a piece.
Yeah.
You buy a full set, 4 for $40.
That's nothing.
Jeb bought 4 for $40, and now it's like, again, $320.
That's crazy.
High end, so that's pretty dang good.
While we're talking about 2024 Kiss stuff, I forgot to ask you before we started, but did you see the Halloween stuff that came out today?
What?
Look it up.
What?
I forgot to ask you that when you got home from work.
No.
I was at Walmart. I was grocery shopping, and I was standing in line.
I'm excited. Is it cool?
It's pretty cool. It's not like a ton of stuff. But,
I'm about to.
But the shirts are really cool.
Is it just shirts?
Mostly. It's like I said, it's not a huge collection, but it is cool. And I was in line at Walmart, and I was just on Facebook while I waited, and I saw that. And
Halloween collection.
There's masks too. I don't know if those masks are new or if you've seen them before, but they're pretty cool and they're, yeah.
All right, so here we are. We're checking out the Kiss Halloween collection that Daphne just dropped on me. Thank you for waiting to the pod, because that was a real reaction.
I actually didn't do that intentionally, but when you mentioned 2024, I was like, oh, there is new stuff today.
They got a mega bundle. Whoa.
The shirt designs are really cool. They're very spooky.
Bats? This is like Quan Chi and Shang
Okay, I
Tsung.
can
It's
see
like
that.
Mortal Kombat kiss. It's like conjuring flames.
So that one, it's pretty much like the same design, but no bats, and it's like fiery orange instead of green.
And they're not like photographs; they're animated photographs.
This
they're
one is really
going
cool.
with.
They're extra spooky in this one.
Oh, that's really
How
cool.
sick is that?
That looks like.
They're almost like Avatar type versions of them.
But that's Avatar original kiss.
Yeah.
That's Jean Paul, Peter, and Ace.
Is it?
It looks more like not really.
See, to
Ace.
me, like that's like
Jean, like that's definitely 74 Jean with the poof and the makeup. That's 76 Paul.
I don't feel like the Catman and the Spaceman really look like anybody.
That looks like Peter Criss.
No,
from
you're
the
right.
90s for
The
sure.
eyes, yeah.
Doesn't really look like Ace, but that's
it's
really
freaking
cool. A Live 35 logo.
Yeah, but with blood dripping down it.
Okay.
The shirts are sick.
The hoodie with the skulls is dope.
Yeah, that's
and then
alright. They got the bat thing again.
They keep throwing
They keep
that
pushing
out there.
that.
I
Who
love
wants
it.
to buy that for $125?
Limited edition Conjuring Flames poster.
Oh, and it's different. Instead of the Kiss logo at the bottom, it's at the top, and then there's like
a witch,
some kind of creature. Yeah, they have like the glowy eyes. That's really cool.
See, that's the final lineup. But
Yeah,
that's
it
not
is.
photos. It's like animated photos. It's like Avatar.
Yeah, it's like kind of painterly.
Cool. Painterly, yes.
And look at these masks.
The masks are only $50.
The masks are actually cool because it's giving.
The masks look okay.
It's like kind of gives that vintage Halloween vibe, but they look pretty good. They don't look like usually those masks.
These look like I've seen some pretty bad Kiss masks.
Well, and usually they are bad. Like no offense, but like most Halloween masks look wonky. And that's just the way that it is. But these actually look pretty good. But they still have that vintage like charm to it.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
cool
so
stuff.
I'm not gonna buy anything because I don't need any more Kiss shirts.
Yeah, well, and they're expensive. But
But that was fun.
Cool. Yeah.
That was fun. Now let's have some fun here. Let's play some games. What Kiss Halloween merch would we like to see? Kiss Online.
Other than just shirts.
Kiss Online is watching right now. They're reviewing our podcast to get a feel for what fans want. What do we want to see for 2025? Kiss Halloween merch. We need decorations.
That was exactly what was about to come out of my mouth.
We do not need any more Kiss shirts. We don't need hoodies. We don't need posters.
I was about to say I want Halloween decorations that are Kiss. Like imagine like
skulls.
You're taking all the words out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. I'm letting neurons fire. Go ahead. Let your neurons fire.
Yes.
Go.
Well, we're on the exact same page because I was thinking like a set of 4 skulls with the makeup on them.
Yes.
But like physical. Like
you
Halloween
literally
decor.
Go to Walmart.
Like I have skulls out there in our house right now, but imagine if they had Kiss makeup.
You can go to Walmart and Target right now and buy a plastic skull for $5.
Yeah, or less.
I guess we could buy one and put the Kiss makeup on it, but how cool would it be to have officially licensed Halloween? Because that shirt we saw with the skulls on it, I've seen other shirts like that before. I got a jean shirt from the Kiss Coffee House with a skull on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that should be decorations. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean?
I agree.
Have a I always loved back in the 90s when you could get like little stick-on window stick-ons. I said winder. I'm from the South. Window stick-ons.
I put some up today. I don't know if you noticed it.
Oh, for sure. There you go. Yeah. So we got like our mom would put like blood.
Yeah.
Little blood.
Yeah, little ghosts, little pumpkins, whatever.
The slimy.
Yes.
Imagine a Kiss.
Handprints,
Imagine a Kiss logo.
Yes.
That was the bloody, stretchy, whatever.
Yeah.
And just slap it on your freaking window, man.
Yeah.
That would look so cool.
It would.
And other little Kiss, graphics like Takara or whatever the hell you wanted to do. But I want more decorations. I want less apparel.
Yeah.
And I have so many Kiss shirts. Look at all the posters I have, people.
Right.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, give me more fun stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I want more little fun stuff.
Yeah.
Little fun stuff.
Little trinkets.
Little trinkets and things, man. I don't know. This is whatever. I bought this because I wanted something new and I wanted something 2024, and I got it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did. It's cool.
And I have the other 2 sets, so now I need the 3rd set. It's kind of a thing. So,
check.
Boom. There we go. Check that. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that we had a surprise from one of our viewers.
I'm excited for this.
Now, our fans are the best. Well, Kiss fans are the best. But the people that watch our podcast are pretty dang cool, too, because they're all Kiss fans. But we got sent something from one of our fans.
Yeah.
From one of our viewers. And we've been sent things before. But this is really super cool. So first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to David Long. Dave, thank you so much. Well, I wanted to use the Kiss knife.
I mean, you can. I'm just trying to make it easier.
No, it is a little easier. So we were sent this gift, and I thought, you know what? I would love to open it on the pod while struggling to put the Kiss knife back up, as per usual. So let's see what we have. It feels very vinyl. See, I wasn't expecting a vinyl. It was supposed to be guitar picks.
Yeah, I remember you saying guitar picks, and then we got that package, and I was like, I think there's something else in there.
It's Kiss Alive 2.
Whoa.
But it's just
the vinyl.
Just the vinyl. Interesting.
I'm so glad that made it safely.
Oh, and we got... Oh, it's artwork!
Oh, cool!
Oh,
this is so much cooler than I thought. It's not just a record.
It's not... It's a record.
Oh, that's so cool.
But it's artwork.
I love that. That's all Kiss picks?
Yeah, they're all Kiss. They're all custom Kiss guitar picks. So basically, this guy, Dave, takes, like, Kiss trading cards and really cool Kiss photos and makes his own guitar picks out of them.
Wow.
And he has a huge... Does he use these? These look like they're... That's really cool. I don't know. Either way, these are really awesome.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm pretty sure he said that he has one for every member.
Can I look at this?
Yeah, sure. Go
close?
ahead.
Wow. Your phone is being used. Sorry.
I know my phone's being used. I was looking for my phone and I was like, why don't I have it?
So many different eras represented. I love that so much.
He says, for a background story on the picks, all the picks come from Don Russ, Legends, 360, or Icons trading cards.
Cool.
Except one. The Mark St. John one came from a damaged pin that I disassembled.
Okay.
Had to represent all members.
That is awesome.
So he literally was going for
wow, Dave.
all members. Dave, you're the man. Dude,
thank you so much. That is so cool.
Rock.
We gotta figure out where to display this.
We gotta figure out.
Just in case. You gotta see this again. That is so freaking cool.
That is super, super cool. Wow. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna
let's display that.
Move this. And we'll display this because that is...
I'm so happy that made it safely. That's so cool.
I guess if we want to, we can still play side 3 of the record, but...
probably not the best idea.
Actually, it's in immaculate
I know,
shape.
but I wouldn't want to place
I know. I'm just playing games, but no, I'm going to put that right there.
That is amazing.
Because that is freaking sweet. And we have a letter.
Aww.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. A little bit of Blue's Clues for you there. Hi, Xander. Greetings from Toledo. Thank you for the podcast. I really enjoy it. This was a really badly skipping vinyl I repurposed with extra cards or damaged cards. I used a pick punch. They're called Pick-a-Palooza. My wife bought me to make guitar picks for my guitars. Whoa, that's really sweet.
I've never heard of that. That's awesome.
Works well for these projects. The Mark St. John pick was a pen that was badly damaged that I took apart and salvaged the picture. His photo is hard to come by.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do for the Kiss fans.
Oh,
Dave, you're welcome, bro.
That is so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man. That is seriously cool. I gotta find something like really cool to do with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Either display it in here or display it in our computer room where I actually work.
Yeah, so you can see it every day.
So I can see it every day because that is I've never seen anything like this before.
I love when people do art with vinyl, especially vinyl that is either damaged or unplayable or scratched.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, because if it's not going to go to use in being played, we might as well make art out of it. That's so cool. We have a clock that in our kitchen that is made out of an old vinyl record.
That's true.
That's painted on. Yeah.
That's true. I love this. So you have Peter Criss from '73. It looks like summer of '73, and you've got pictures of Paul from summer of '73. And you've got Eric and Vinny from Lick It Up. You got Bill and Ace from '76. Dude, that is sweet. I'm serious, David. Thank you, man. That is really awesome of you. You didn't have to do that, but you did, and that is super cool. You're very welcome for the podcast. I love the fact that people even care, enough to watch the show.
Yeah, let alone send us stuff.
I try to have, we have so much fun around here. On this show, we really do. And getting to have, things like this happen is just what makes my world go round. This is so much fun. There's so much crap in the world going on. I can't think of one single reason why I should give it time of day when there's people like you out there doing this kind of cool stuff. When we have great music to talk about, great music to review, super, super awesome stuff. So I could get to real quickly Kiss Merch of the Year.
Yes.
But the item is over there, so I'm looking around to see if I have anything else from 2013 I could just kind of slide in. What if I just grab the first thing? Oh my gosh, Kiss Cruise 2013.
I feel like it's not even the first
Boom,
time
there
you've
you
done
go.
that. Just reach
I was
for
like,
something.
so I was going to show it's kind of cool, that cooler down there.
Okay.
That cooler is very, not like rare, but it's from Australia.
It's
so
really cool.
How they got here, I don't know, but I have a really cool small Kiss cooler that I like to use to store my money back when I'm going on road trips. But it's over there. So instead, I'm showing you these Kiss Crew sunglasses that I got from a Kiss Expo on a $5 table.
Yep. I love the $5 table.
Used to have 2 of these, and I opened up a pair and gave them to somebody. And now I only have 1 left, but it's still packaged, still sealed, still really cool. But yeah, it's not only... Oh, whoa. It is in fact not sealed. I think I might have used these for something else as well.
I think you probably did.
But they are still in the package. So, really cool. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. No, actually, I have one more thing of Kiss news. Okay. This happened today. I heard today that Gene Simmons is going to be a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars this Tuesday. It's a hair metal night.
Okay.
And so
cool.
they're having Gene come and guest judge.
That'll be great.
So if anybody wants to watch Gene Simmons guest
when
judge,
is it?
I think it's this Tuesday, October 8th.
Okay.
On Dancing with the Stars. So that's ABC,
great.
I think.
Yeah.
ABC. So there's a little bit of a news for you guys there if you want to watch that show. I know some folks don't like that show. It's fine. It's cool. I used to like that show a lot. My grandma and I used to watch that show a lot.
I've never watched it, I've never really sat down and watched it, but I've seen lots of clips from it, and I always enjoy it. It's always cool.
Yeah. I haven't watched it in several seasons, but back in 2012, because Kiss was on there.
Yeah.
When Kiss was on it in 2012 for Rock Week, my grandma and I would watch the show, and I'd be straight up judging their salsa and judging their...
Right.
That was terrible. Anyway... but yeah, so Gene will be a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars this Tuesday on ABC. Check it out if you want. But again, all I want to know is what you guys think of Sonic Boom. Favorite song, least favorite song. What was the album like for you then versus now? When was the last time you listened to it? Listen to it again.
Listen to it again.
It is seriously
I highly recommend
really
it.
good.
Please.
I know most fans can't listen to it because it's not from the 70s. It's I don't know. I feel really bad though because this album is so good.
It is. You are missing out.
People are missing out on some good harmonies, good riffs, good songs, good vocals, good drumming. It's a great rock and roll album. So I can't wait to read what you guys think. In the meantime, we will see you next time for our Hot in the Shade album review. That's going to be a long
so excited.
one. We might have to condense that one down because
isn't that
this episode
album,
right now is almost 2 hours.
It doesn't feel like it, though.
This episode's almost 2 hours.
Shout out if you're still watching the end of this video right now. You're a real one.
And if you are, check out our Patreon, too, because we have some extra bonus content on the Patreon over there. So if you want to, check it out. We have you have early access to these episodes. I have extended versions of YouTube videos with extra clips that don't get shown on YouTube. And then there's just straight-up bonus videos that aren't on YouTube at all. Jeb and I have a new show called Backstage Pass. We're doing episode 2 this month of that show. Has some good response from people from the first episode, so thank you for that. So yeah, check out our new show on Patreon as well as some exclusive Kiss content. In the meantime, we'll see you for the next episode, Hot in the Shade, episode 114. This, however, is episode 113 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Really appreciate it, you guys. Take care. Have a great day, a great week. We'll see you next time. My name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
Peace out. Rock on.